Hello, boys and girls. Welcome to math class. Today, we're going to be going over some fractions on number lines. So grab your pencil and a paper. And if you have your workbook, you can follow along with me. If you're at home and you don't have your workbook, please just grab a plain sheet of paper and create the number lines and write down things as we go over them. Okay, so let's start with number one. Let's see, it might help if I make my paper all straight. There we go. Okay, here we go, friends. It says, find, mark, and label the measurements on the rulers below. The first one has been done for you. So let's just look at this example. We have 4.5. Well, 4 is the whole number. So we're going to go to 4. Here it is. And then half. So I need to figure out what is halfway between 4 and 5. Now, I've been thinking about half a lot lately, and we've been talking about it with our class. So it's pretty easy for me to see that right in the middle, it was a longer line for half. But let's just say that you didn't know that. So here's a strategy to help you. Start at the 4 and count the jumps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can do it that way, or you can actually count them out. Like this one, you can just number it. 0, 1, 2, 3. Hopefully you can see that. Whoops, it's very light. Let me change to a pen. All right, friends, let's try that again. So I've got 0 right here, and then 1, 2, 3. Then I have 4 right here, then 5, 6, 7, and then 5 would be the whole number 8, or it would be 8 over 8 or 1. And if we had started right here, we would know that 5 times 8 is 40. So if we started here numbering them, then this would be 40 over 8. Fractions are dividing. Right, fractions are dividing. So if this was 40 over 8, we would just divide 40 times 8, which is the whole number? 5. Good job. All right. But for today, we're just going to think about this as just one part right here between 4 and 5. So we have 8 as the whole. So the denominator, or 8 is how many in all. So the denominator would be 8s for each one, just like that. Okay. So now let's go down to letter A, 3 1/2. Pause the video and see if you can locate 3 1/2. All right, my friends, hopefully you have located half, and I'm just going to grab a piece of paper here and show you how, if you're doing this on paper, what you can do to solve this problem. So I'm going to write down A and circle it. Then I can see I have 0 to 1, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. I'm going to focus on 3 1/2. So I'm going to start my number line by drawing it like this, saying that it goes on forever. We're starting at 3, and then we're going to 4. We have to find 3 1/2. Well, by looking at my ruler here, I can see that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is 3. We're going to keep going. We have to find 8 equal jumps. So we're going to go right in the middle, and that is 4 out of 8. And then between 3 and 4, we need to have 4 on each side. So I'm going to cut this one into half, and then into fourths, and then this one into half, and then into fourths. So I should have 8 equal jumps. So this is 3 1/8, 2 or 3 2/8, 3 3/8, 4 4/8, not 4, sorry, 3 4/8. I guess it would be better if I put the whole number right here. 3 1/8, 3 2/8, 3 3/8, 3 4/8, 3 5/8, 3 6/8, 3 7/8, and 4 is 3 8/8, which we know equals to the whole number of 4. All right, do that for letter A and make sure that you've numbered or labeled each one of them. To find halfway would be 1/2. 4/8 is equal to 1/2. So again, on my paper, I can write 4/8 is equal to 1/2. So on my worksheet, I can just find it right here. Maybe I put a star, and then we can go to letter B. B is 1 1/2. So let's look. 1 is right here, and then we can count up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 jumps in all, so we're going to find 4 jumps from the whole number. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there it is, right there. 1 1/2. All right, I'm going to look for my paper for letter B. If you're doing this on your paper, or even if you're doing it on a workbook, you could write this down somewhere and turn it in for points. B would be 1 1/2 is the same as 1 4/8. Now, how can I make this into an improper fraction? First, let's remember what improper fraction means. An improper fraction has a numerator that's bigger than the denominator. It's a fraction greater than 1. So looking at 1 4/8, I could rewrite that as the 1 could be 4/8. Wait, not 4/8, sorry. 8/8 plus 4/8. Now, 8 plus 4 is 12. Good job. And so we put 12 here and 8 here, 12/8. So another name for 1/2 is 12/8, or 1 1 or 1 4/8, or 1 1/2. All right, friends, let's go to letter C, 5 3/4. So for letter C, I'm going to write down 5 3/4. And then when I look at my number line for C, see if I can zoom in for my sweet friends. Whoop, there we go. 5 3/4. Here we go. We have 0. Then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Again, I'm going to have to count the jumps. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We still are working with 8s or 8s. So I'm going to now make an equivalent fraction. 5 3/4 is the same as 5 and how many 8s? Whatever you do to the bottom, you do to the top. Right, so 4 times 2 is 8. Times 2 is 8. So we're going to multiply 3 times 2. And 3 times 2 is? 6. So 6 out of 8 jumps would be where we would find 5 3/4. So I'm going to go back to my number line here. I'm going to find that 5, and then the 3/4 would be 6 6/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So here it is. I'm going to put a star, and I'm going to write 5 6/8. All right, let's look at D. 2 1/4. 2 1/4. Well, let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 again. So back to your letter on letter D on your paper. D looks like this. We're going to write 2 1/4, which is equivalent to 2 and how many 8s? 4 times 2 is 8. Whatever you do to the bottom? That's right. And so we have 2. 1 times 2 is 2. So 2 8s and 1/4 are equivalent fractions. That's right, class. They name the same amount. Perfect. So for letter D, we're going to go right here and we're going to find 2 out of 8. So we have 1, then we have 2 right there, and I'm going to label it 2 2/8. The last one is 4 1/4. Go to 4 1/4. Here's 4. And I'm going to count again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now, all of these have been 8s, but it's important to always make sure you're paying attention to every detail. So 4 1/4. So for letter E, I'm going to write 4 1/4. That is equal to 4 and how many 8s? 2 8s. So we go right here and we go all the way to 4. And then we find 1/8, then 2/8. 2/8. So we shared our work with our partners. If you did not get a chance to share with a partner, maybe you can take this to a parent or a friend and you guys can just talk about this number line work. Even though we just checked all of our work, it's a really good idea to remember to talk about your math using correct math vocabulary and understanding what you're talking about. So thanks so much for that. Now we're going to look at the challenge. What other fractions do you know? Mark and label them on this ruler. So first, we know that we have, what is this one? Lloyd, what is this one? 1/2. So we write 1/2. It's just half. Good. Now we have 1 and a what? 1 and 1/2. But let's see, I want to make an improper fraction for this one right here. Well, I would need to start with 2. The whole number 2 is equal to, if there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If there's 8 in all, I'm essentially going to be writing 8 8/8 plus 8/8 plus, I just made one jump past the 2, which would be 1/8. When we add fractions, we add the parts, but the whole stays the same. So 8 plus 8 is 16. 16 plus 1 is 17. So I have 17/8. So I'm going to mark this as 17/8. And that is an improper fraction. Now we could go on, and if you did, that's great. You can also just talk with a friend and maybe label 2 more and then turn your paper in. Well, that's all we have for today's math lesson. Thank you so much for working on math on a number line. And if no one's told you today, you're awesome. And I hope you have a great day. Learn a lot. Bye.